Hey, so this happened to me last year, and I still can't quite believe I said it out loud.
I know the story.
No, wait, let me tell it my way.
Fine. Go.
I was in a job interview, an actual, real English-speaking job interview, and the interviewer asks me the classic question. So, John, how would you describe your personality?
A totally normal question.
Sure, in theory. In my head, though, everything went blank. Like someone turned off all the lights in my brain at once.
Panic mode.
Total panic mode. And instead of taking a second to think, I just grabbed the first word that floated by.
Which was?
I am very sensible.
Oh no.
I said it with so much confidence, too. Chin up, shoulders back. I am very sensible, like I'd just won an award for it.
But sensible doesn't mean what you think it means.
I found that out about 4 seconds later, when the interviewer smiled this very polite, very confused smile and said, "Oh, that's great. So you make careful, practical decisions?"
Which isn't even close to what you meant.
Exactly. I actually meant sensitive, like emotionally aware, easily affected by things. But sensible means practical and logical. Two completely different personalities, and I basically told this poor man I was someone I'm not.
Did you get the job?
I did, actually, which honestly makes it worse, because now there's a manager somewhere who thinks he hired a very sensible person, and I show up crying at company birthday parties.
That's the real plot twist.
Here's the thing, though. This mix-up happens constantly with personality words. They sound similar, they get taught side by side in vocabulary lists, and under pressure, your brain just picks the wrong one and runs with it.
And it's not even a rare mistake. I hear it from students every week. Someone reaching for one word and grabbing its cousin instead.
Right, and the two words can look almost identical on paper, but land completely differently in a real conversation.
Which is exactly why we built something for this inside the Unstoppable Club.
Right, we call it the character card method.
It's this simple 3-part formula that helps you describe your personality clearly, honestly, and without grabbing some random word that sounds close enough.
No more accidentally telling interviewers you're sensible when you meant sensitive.
It's built into the Unstoppable Club, links below if you want the full walkthrough, with practice cards for dozens of traits.
But today, let's start with the conversation version, the part you can actually use this afternoon.
Because before you can use a method, you need the words, and more importantly, you need to actually believe them about yourself.
Hey there, welcome back to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast that makes English feel like a conversation, not a textbook.
I'm John, still recovering from my sensible confession.
And I'm Maria, still laughing about it, sorry.
Completely fair.
Today, we're talking about how to describe your personality in English. Clearly, naturally, and without panicking in front of an interviewer.
Or a date.
Or your English teacher.
Basically any situation where someone says, "So, tell me about yourself."
We'll walk through the words people mix up. A simple way to build honest personality sentences. And later, our word tour with 6 personality words you'll actually use.
Plus, rewrite it, where we turn nervous, apologetic sentences into calm, confident ones.
So, John, be honest. When someone asks you to describe your personality now, what's the very first word that comes to mind?
Okay, so here's a myth I used to believe about personality words in English.
Which one?
That they only exist for quizzes. Multiple choice. Pick the closest answer. Move on.
Like you're filling out a form.
Exactly. I thought outgoing, reserved, meticulous, these were textbook words, not real words people actually use about themselves.
But they are real. All the time.
Right, and once I noticed that, I started hearing them everywhere. A coworker says, I'm pretty easygoing about deadlines. A friend says, I'm way too blunt sometimes.
Normal, casual, real conversation.
Yes, not a test at all. It's just how people explain themselves to each other, the same way you describe your favorite coffee order.
So why do we treat it like a test when we're speaking a second language?
Because in our first language, we already know these words without thinking. In English, we suddenly feel like we're being graded, like there's an examiner hiding behind every sentence.
Like there's a right answer.
Exactly, and personality doesn't work that way. There's no perfect word that captures you completely.
There's just the word that's closest. Today, in this context.
And that's actually freeing once you accept it.
It really is. You stop searching for the one flawless word and start using the one that's close enough to keep the conversation going.
Which is honestly the goal the whole time.
Not perfection. Connection.
Can I admit something embarrassing too? So John isn't suffering alone?
Please, misery loves company.
Years ago, in an English class, we had to introduce ourselves, and I wanted to sound strong, so I said, I'm a very arrogant person.
Oh no!
I meant confident. I wanted to say I trust myself. I believe in my abilities.
But arrogant means you think you're better than everyone else.
Yes, a completely different message, and I said it with a huge smile too, like I was proud of it.
How did the class react?
Dead silence, and then one very kind classmate gently said, I think you mean confident?
Saved by a classmate.
Saved by a classmate, and honestly, a little humbled.
But it makes sense why that mix-up happens. Both words describe someone strong, someone who isn't shrinking away.
Right. The feeling is similar, self-belief, but the meaning is opposite in tone. Confident is a compliment. Arrogant is a criticism.
So how do you tell them apart now?
I ask myself, does this word describe someone who trusts themselves, or someone who looks down on others?
Confident trusts themselves.
Arrogant looks down on others.
That's such a clean way to separate them.
It took me embarrassing myself in front of a classroom to find it. But, yes.
Worth the embarrassment, apparently.
Painfully worth it, though I still think about that classmate's face sometimes.
Here's something that changed how I talk about myself completely.
Go on.
There's a difference between describing a behavior and describing an identity.
What do you mean?
Like saying I get nervous in groups versus saying I'm a shy person.
Those sound almost the same.
They sound similar, but one is a moment, and the other is a label you carry everywhere, like a name tag you never take off.
So one is temporary.
Exactly. I get nervous in groups describes a situation. It can change depending on the group, the day, how tired you are.
But I'm shy sounds permanent.
It sounds like a fact about your entire identity, not just a pattern in certain moments.
And that matters for English learners specifically. Why?
Because a lot of us learn one adjective, like shy or nervous, and then we wear it like a permanent badge. I'm shy becomes the whole explanation for everything, even things that have nothing to do with shyness.
Instead of just describing what's happening right now.
Right. So a small shift, saying I get quiet in big groups instead of I'm a shy person, leaves room for change.
It doesn't trap you inside the word.
Exactly. The behavior can shift. The identity language makes it feel fixed forever.
That's such a small grammar choice with a big emotional effect.
Language shapes how we see ourselves more than people realize, and it's worth being careful with it.
Okay, so let's actually build this. The character card method.
Tell me the formula.
3 parts. Part 1, the trait. Part 2, a real example. Part 3, a degree word, so it's honest, not extreme.
Break that down for me.
Trait first, something like organized. Example next, I always plan my week on Sundays. Degree word last, pretty, fairly, somewhat, extremely, whatever fits the truth.
So, put together?
I'm fairly organized. I always plan my week on Sundays.
That sounds like a real person talking, not a vocabulary list.
That's the goal. Trait alone sounds flat. Trait plus example sounds human.
And the degree word?
Stops it from sounding too dramatic. I'm extremely organized might not be true. I'm fairly organized probably is, and it leaves room for the days you forget everything.
Give me another one.
I'm somewhat reserved. I usually need time before I open up to new people.
That feels honest, not like a performance.
Exactly. And it works for anything. Positive traits, tricky traits, even traits you're still working on.
I'm a little too blunt sometimes. I say what I'm thinking before I filter it.
See, that one's honest and a bit funny.
Real personalities are a mix of both, and that's exactly what this formula lets you show.
So the formula again. Trait, example, degree word.
Say it. Don't just memorize it. Your brain needs to hear your own voice using it before it feels natural.
Can I bring up a worry some learners have?
Go ahead.
Some personality words sound negative when learners translate them in their heads, even when English speakers don't mean them that way.
Like which ones?
Stubborn, for example. In a lot of languages, the direct translation sounds almost insulting.
But in English?
It depends completely on tone and context. She's stubborn can sound critical, sure, but she's determined. She doesn't give up easily describes almost the same trait with warmth instead of judgment.
So it's not really about avoiding certain traits.
No, it's about choosing the word that matches the tone you actually mean.
Give me another example.
Blunt versus honest. Blunt can sound harsh, but brutally honest or just very direct can describe the same person more kindly.
So English gives you multiple doors into the same room.
Exactly, and a lot of learners only learn one door, usually the harsher one, and assume that's their only option.
Which makes them avoid describing themselves accurately at all.
Right. They'd rather say nothing than say something that sounds too strong.
But there's almost always a softer synonym sitting right next to the harsh one, waiting to be discovered.
So the real skill isn't avoiding honesty. It's finding the kinder word for the same honest thing.
So let's bring this together.
We started with me embarrassing myself with sensible.
And me with arrogant.
Both times. Close but wrong words. Said with full confidence.
Which honestly is kind of the point.
How so?
Confidence in the wrong word is still better than silence. At least you're trying. At least you're building the sentence.
True. You can't fix a word you never said.
Exactly. Mistakes like ours become stories. And stories help the correct words stick permanently, way better than any flashcard ever could.
I will never again confuse sensible and sensitive.
Trust me. Neither will anyone listening.
So today's real lesson isn't just vocabulary. It's giving yourself permission to describe who you are, imperfectly, honestly, one trait at a time.
Trait. Example. Degree word.
Say it like a person, not a dictionary.
And remember, the goal was never a perfect word, just an honest one.
Now let's slow down and learn 6 personality words that'll actually help you do that.
Now let's slow down and go through today's powerful words. 6 words that'll help you describe your personality clearly and honestly. Our first word is outgoing.
Outgoing.
Outgoing means friendly, social, and comfortable meeting new people.
Maybe you love parties and talking to strangers, and you're usually the one starting the conversation.
You could say, casually, honestly, I'm pretty outgoing. I'll talk to anyone at a party.
Or in writing, you might say, she has an outgoing personality that makes her great at networking events. Our next word is reserved.
Reserved.
Reserved means quiet, private, and slow to share your feelings with new people.
Maybe you need time before you open up in a group, and that's completely normal.
You could say, I'm a bit reserved at first, but I warm up once I know people.
Or, in writing, he seemed reserved during the meeting, but shared great ideas once he felt comfortable. Our next word is easygoing.
Easygoing.
Easygoing means relaxed, flexible, and not easily bothered by small problems.
Maybe plans change last minute, and it doesn't stress you out at all.
You could say, I'm pretty easygoing, so if the plan changes, that's totally fine with me.
Or in writing, their easygoing attitude made the whole trip feel stress-free. Our next word is meticulous.
Meticulous.
Meticulous means extremely careful and detail-focused, sometimes almost perfectionist.
Maybe you double-check every email before sending it, just to be sure.
You could say, I'm a little meticulous. I read everything twice before I hit send.
Or, in writing, her meticulous planning meant nothing was ever forgotten. Our next word is resilient.
Resilient.
Resilient means able to recover quickly from difficulty and keep going after something hard.
Maybe you had a rough year, but you kept moving forward anyway, one small step at a time.
You could say, I think I'm pretty resilient. I bounce back faster than I expect to.
Or in writing, he stayed resilient through months of setbacks and finally reached his goal. Our final word is blunt.
Blunt.
Blunt means direct and honest, sometimes without softening the message much.
Maybe you tell your friend the truth even when it's uncomfortable, because you'd rather be honest than polite.
You could say, I can be blunt sometimes, I just say what I'm thinking.
Or in writing, her blunt feedback was hard to hear, but it was exactly what the team needed.
Those were today's 6 words: outgoing, reserved, easygoing, meticulous, resilient, and blunt.
Words worth practicing slowly, especially the ones that describe you best, and maybe even the ones that make you slightly uncomfortable.
Those are usually the most useful ones, honestly.
And if you want extra practice sentences for each one, along with more traits we didn't cover today, they're all inside the Unstoppable Club, too.
All right, it's Rewrite It time, where we take nervous, apologetic sentences about personality and turn them into calm, natural English.
First sentence, I don't really know how to describe myself.
Let's rebuild that. Try, I'm still figuring out the exact words, but I'd say I'm fairly easygoing and pretty resilient.
See, That's not avoiding the question. That's an honest, in-progress answer. And it's completely okay to still be figuring it out.
Second sentence, I'm shy, so I don't talk much. Sorry.
Drop the apology completely. Try, I'm a bit reserved at first, but I open up once I'm comfortable.
Same truth, no apology attached to it, and no need to apologize for how you naturally are.
Third sentence, I'm too blunt. People probably don't like it.
Reframe, I can be pretty blunt, but I'm working on saying things kindly too.
That version owns the trait instead of shrinking from it, and shows growth without self-punishment.
Fourth sentence, I'm not organized at all. I'm a mess.
Try, I'm still building better habits. Right now, I'd call myself more meticulous about big things than small ones.
Specific and honest, not a total self-attack, and it actually gives the listener useful information.
Fifth sentence, I'm probably too sensitive. I take things personally.
Reframe, I feel things deeply. And I'm learning that's actually a strength, not a weakness.
That completely changes the emotional weight of the sentence without changing the underlying truth at all.
Sixth sentence, I don't know if people would call me outgoing.
Try, I'm outgoing in small groups and more reserved in big ones. It depends on the setting.
That's more accurate anyway. Personality shifts depending on context, and that's not a flaw, that's just how people work.
Notice none of these rewrites lie or exaggerate.
They just remove the apology and add honesty instead.
That's really the whole shift from sorry, this is just how I am, to here's honestly who I am.
And that second version is so much easier to build a real conversation on, whether it's a job interview or a first date.
So let's bring today's lesson home.
Personality words aren't a test. They're just honest descriptions, and close enough is allowed.
Trait, example, degree word, that's the whole formula, and it works for any trait you want to describe.
Here's your challenge for this week. Describe yourself out loud using that formula. 3 sentences, 3 different traits.
Say them to a mirror, a friend, or just your phone recording app. Whatever feels comfortable.
Thank you for spending this time with us today.
Keep practicing.
Keep being honestly, specifically, imperfectly, you.
Bye for now.